Hey everybody, Zandy here, aka Montulio, and we're back for Vintage Prelim tonight. I noticed with about 4 minutes left there was a prelim. Don't normally think about them, but I decided last second to load it up, and I'm going to play some good old Golos shops today. So not much to say about this list, it's pretty standard. There was a player by the name of Laura who does quite well with workshop strategies, who went 11-0 in the Vintage qualifier this weekend, so motivated me to play it. So we'll see you round one since we're already ready to go. If you haven't done so, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. All right, guys, here we are in round one, playing Justin. I am actually level 1. We did not win the die roll, unfortunately. How good is his hand, turn 1 Golos? Doesn't do much, but I guess we have Saga backup to try and apply some pressure. I think it's probably reasonable. We're on the draw. Maybe we can draw something else. Oh, dear. Probably just get an Ancestral. Yep. Okay. So we're probably looking at Tinker next turn. Oh, just Time Vault. Okay. Guess what I can do here is I could Ghost Quarter them. Draw Revoker. Turn 1 Golos doesn't do much because I think we're dead otherwise. And the idea behind the Ghost Quarter here is to shuffle, make them, well, not make them, give them the choice to shuffle their library. Now, they only have 4 cards in hand. Who's to say they have enough to, one, both cast the Time Bolt, and 2, activate it this turn. So my opponent needs to think about whether they're willing to let that combo go to get a basic out of their deck. This is a May ability. And they did shuffle it. Okay. I don't really want to show... I don't think there's a reason to play out the Mox Pearl. I also don't really want to 100% tell my opponent what we're playing, despite Ghost Quarter is most often associated with Golos shops. No land. Okay, so my hand is not looking great here. But what I could do, if I want to play out this Mana Crypt, it allows me to play the Urza's Saga. And I think that's worth it. I expect Golos to be countered here. What is this? Interesting. Okay, so now we are on saga.plan. Never seen Blade of Shared Souls played. So we are going to need some help off the top of our library here. They shuffled. Okay. My opponent is really struggling on lands over there. Okay. We are just drawing a ton of lands here, guys. I think one of the ways I lose this is them comboing me out. So I think I'm going to take Pithing Needle here. Put it on Manifold Key. I can sacrifice this thing right now and go and get Crucible, which allows me to Ghost Quarter. Probably correct. Actually, maybe I just get Lodestone Golem. Okay. All right, what do we want to do here, if anything at all? I honestly don't really know. Maybe we just want a Miser Null Rod. I just bring a couple Worm Coils for the hell of it. What don't we want? Chalice on one seems reasonable. Nettle's just as good. Like, I kind of just feel like we have a lot of good tools here. Maybe Worm Coils are not worth it. Maybe I'll cut one. 15 seconds. Maybe could have cut Tabernacle, but ran out of time. Yeah, I mean, there's a hand. So really this is a byproduct of, does my opponent have an answer here? Like, Karn is really good. It's a bit greedy doing it this way, but I think it's okay. Let's see if we can resolve a Karn. It's in. Wow, that's strong. What do we got on the sideboard we'd be interested in here? Just a Lattice, I guess, right? I think it's just got to be a Lattice. Okay. They didn't have a force last time, so this is 3, 5 mana. Can't quite do it all this turn, but Mycosynth Lattice just wins, right? Do I need to do that here this turn, though? Probably not. This is 2. This is right. So 3, 4, 5 mana. They can't beat me both Sphere and I can actually play Lattice and Sphere, I believe. Okay, guess conceded. We're going to cast Sphere there. I think that was the correct line. We just had a cornucopia of different stuff we could have done there. Okay, guys, here we are in round 2 with Golos Shops. We won the die roll. My opponent is a Jeskai player, by the looks of things. And there is our Lurus. And this is a really nice looking hand for us. Their list that they run does run Wasteland. We do have a turn 1 Time Bolt kill, though. What happens if I play that and I get countered and then Wastelanded? Probably pretty bad for me. But I did come here to try and win. So, I mean, it's hard to pass up a turn 1 Time Bolt combo. Hopefully they don't have a misstep. It's in. Okay. Can they stop my Mox Ruby here? They cannot. So unless they have a Force of Vigor here. Okay, really nice turn 1. And of course, Jeskai doesn't run Force of Vigor, but might not be Jeskai. I remember I played against LSV once. I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And I feel like it was a Vintage Daily event back when those used to exist. And I had a really nice workshop hand, just a stellar hand. And Luis on the play he had no land in his hand. I went back and watched the video. He cast a Black Lotus. No, I guess he would have had a land because he went Black Lotus, Vault Key, combo killed me right there. But he didn't have anything else going on. It was like he was just completely dead if that didn't work. So sometimes you get away with it. A little bit of a story there. All right, so we're playing against Jeskai. Don't really feel like any of these are overly good. Like Grafdigger's Cage used to be a card I would consider against Jeskai when they were running Dread Hordes, but because they have the Mercurial Spell Dancer now, it just makes this not worthwhile doing. I mean, we're going to look to do this the old-fashioned way. Don't think Karn really does what I want it to in this matchup. All right, let's go. Don't think Spyglass likely does a whole lot here either, but maybe you can proactively shut off a fetch land or something. I think I'll keep this. Oh no, Lurrus. Yeah, that's because they brought in energy fluxes. Ragavan is a bit of a problem here if they have it. Okay. Hopefully this is not an ancestral. Preordain. That was one of the best draws that I could have. I'm going to play out the Tomb here. Pay a couple life. And hopefully that resolves. This is definitely one of my best cards in the matchup. They have a forest. Okay. Spell Dancer. Yep, it's a good one. Strip Mine. Well, what do I want to put this on? Probably going to throw it on Black Lotus. I think Black Lotus. We got to really try and keep them off of energy flux here. Like we're just not beating an energy flux with all likelihood. I think my best bet here is to try and Crucible lock them. Okay. Feel like they're trying to get energy flux going here. Yeah, this is probably not the best for me, but I do think I cast a Time Vault here because my goal next turn is to strip mine them. And if we draw the Manifold Key, we can just win. And hopefully they run out of land here. Okay. They are getting lower on resources, but we're getting lower on life. So we could die to this. Golos does not have a ton of creatures to throw into play, and of course I can't block this effectively. Probably Tabernacle Lock is my best way to win at the moment. Or Time Vault, of course. My opponent just has an unending line of lands here, unfortunately. No, there's a Saga. Problem is I'm worried about energy flux. But I should have time. Bolt. Cruise would be brutal here. It is. All right. Wasteland me. That was bad sequencing, by the way. We really wanted to play the needle on the Sapphire. They let it resolve because I don't have the Saga. But having seen the Saga and that I have the win in 2 turns from now could be a disincentive enough for them to force it. Now strip mine is still an option. Time has kind of passed for Crucible here at the moment. I'm on the Vault key line, so hopefully it's enough. It was enough game 1. Energy Flux is pretty brutal here if they have it. Hopefully they don't have a bolt. They did use their trigger here. It's pretty scary, and they have a fetch. I have a feeling that there's a pretty reasonable probability that we're going to get hit with an energy flux here, but maybe we won't. We'll require them to have the flux and a land to cast it. Yeah, shuffle away their bad ones. Strip mine is also an option. Okay, brainstorms. Oh, they found the strip mine. Okay. That, I think, ices me. Pretty sure it does. Key, I guess, off the top. Right, so I play Saga. They hit me. Yeah, it's not enough. I mean, I have one turn to naturally draw the key. They must have counter magic here, thinking about this. All right, coming in. That's all I've got. And let's see if I can just naturally rip a key here. They did use it. Okay. Okay, but not okay. I really feel like Jeskai is a difficult matchup and always has been for Shops. I mean, problem here is okay, even if I rip the key, I can't pay for them both. That's funny. All right. Good game. I feel like it's probably just better than Spyglass. I mean, I guess Spyglass on the play is more reasonable. Just Karn lets me go and get... No, I'm going to stick with the Spyglass on the play. Karn, as much as I like it, makes my opponent play a little bit more fair. The Spyglass is easier to cast. It may have some relevance on things like Wastelands if I'm on a Saga Vault key line, something like that. Karn is just a lot more difficult to cast. I think this is right. I still like the Miser Tabernacle. Being able to lock your opponent out with lands and of all their lands and being able to kill them with Tabernacle on their creatures is pretty powerful. All right, guys, game 3. My opponent doesn't have force. It's pretty good. This is a trap hand, but if it works, it's pretty good. I think we just slam this into a slam 3 ball, right? And hope to draw out of it. This into Sol Ring, into Mana Vault. That's 4 mana. Another thing I could do is just cast a sphere, and if it gets countered. So let's see if I resolve the Soul Ring. The Soul Ring is the key here. If this gets countered, it's bad news brown for me. It resolves. So I'm casting the Mana Vault here. I think what I'm going to do against my better judgment, guys, is I'm going to play a Sphere of Resistance here. Maybe the Thorn is better. What I'm worried about is Ragavan. So which one do I bait with? I think having one of these in play is better than the Trinisphere. But maybe Trinisphere is just a higher spec play. I think it is. I'm here to play Trinispheres. They had it. So my first line was better. Because I would have been able to resolve a sphere. But hopefully we can find some land. Oh no, Ragavan. That's exactly what I didn't want to see here. It's so bad for me, guys. Ragavan just completely undoes what I am doing here. Let's find a Caracas off the top. Okay. I mean, that's not the worst, right? I'd prefer this one to resolve. But we're in the same position now, where if this gets countered, we can play this. Now, once again, I probably did not sequence properly here. We'll only have to take a hit from the Ragavan if I don't get wastelanded. Hopefully they're stuck on mana here. I realize this is giving them a treasure. Oh, Revoker's actually pretty solid. They can put a Revoker on my Soul Ring here, which may stop my Saga potentially. And it gives them a beatdown. It's pretty good. It's a matter, do they want to do that? They may be sitting on Energy Flux here. Tough decision. I guess it's really a matter of how much they want to burn that treasure token. It's strong though, in the sense that if I don't draw another land, it's really good. So it looks like they're going to do it and try and hamper my land here. Yep. And they have a wasteland, yep. All right, well, I'm in a lot of trouble now. I need some help. There wasn't a ton of good hits for them, but Revoker definitely was one of them. Yeah, I identified earlier in my my intro that Ragavan is definitely a card that scares me. here. I'm likely to get energy flux to this turn. Yep. This was a completely different game if I had followed my first line, but made a bad decision, got greedy. Oh, opponent pulled a Mox. This is just likely an energy flux to end the game, but okay. Giving me a chance. I mean, I don't even know what I draw here. 3, 4, 5. I'm underneath my own sphere. Like, I can't cast Golos. Like, Mystic Forge is really poor in general in this type of scenario. And I'm losing life here to my Crypt of Dead next turn. Oh, I guess that does help. All right. And just have force here. Funny enough, I do have a time vault out potentially here. Wouldn't that be wild? There's a Saga. Gonna go down to 1 here. Can't use my key yet, but it's pretty much my only out. Yeah, just the perfect storm of cards they had there. They had the Force of Will for the Trinisphere, followed up with the Wasteland. I cast my Revoker off my Ragavan and got my there's a Saga with the Wasteland there. And that was pretty much the death knell. Opponent's got a lot of mana here. And 4 cards, none of which bodes well for me. Not sure what my opponent's doing here. Very long pause. Most of which I put on pause for you guys so you wouldn't have to endure it, but thought I'd give my opponent a little public shout out here for holding us up. Maybe we're going to get the old disconnect win. I will take one of those in a prelim. Yeah, there they go. Just an energy flux here, or what? Pineman. Why not? I can't. I guess that does kill my Sagas. Wasteland. Okay. We'll go to 1 here. No. All right, see you next round. Okay, guys, here we are in round 3 of the Vintage Prelim. We've won the die roll, which is great. What about this hand? I think this hand is fine. So Jordan can be on a number of things. White initiative, I think, is definitely a possibility here. I know they also like, I think they play PO, and I think they play Cradlevine. So if they're playing Cradlevine, we are looking at potentially getting blown right out here. And there's not much we can do about it. Well, let's just hope this works. The turn 1 sphere is solid. We can sit on the back of Saga potentially. Any Sol land we draw better puts us on a Crucible. It's in. Okay, your go. It's in. If this is white initiative we're playing against, like Sphere Resistance is a pretty good card against them. That's bizarre. Okay. So Hollow One is pretty hard here. It's a difficult one to deal with. If this is Squee, I like our chances a lot better here. Lines, okay. One Hollow One. They only had 1. Okay, that's good for us. I'm going to take their Bazaar here. We're going to lose the value of the Saga for now, this particular Saga, but I think that's okay for now. We have some time with this Hollow One. I think trying to inhibit their ability to go off here is pretty important. It's unfortunate they had the Hollow One, but the good news is they didn't get the vines going there. Just going to go and get a Soul Ring, right? Yep. I think I play a Crucible here. We'll get a Saga going. They missed a land drop last turn. Which is good news. Okay. So this is going to stop the attack. That was actually an amazing draw. Still think I want big mana, right? Like, Let's play another Saga. Just keep doing this. I could cast the Thorn, but I'm going to lose. Well, if I get Black Lotus, I can cast the Thorn, which I think is the correct thing to do. Yeah, it ends up working out well because we get the Black Lotus, we cast the Thorn, and that completely inhibits their ability to Force of Vigor me. Force of Vigor is the card that gets me. All right, so I think our Worm Coils are likely to be good here. I could see our Hearse being good. I could see the Sorcerer Spyglass being good. And I'm not really sure what variant they're playing, so I don't really think Grafdigger's Cage is likely to be that effectual. But it's something that we could consider. I think Karn is probably pretty poor here. I don't know what they're on. Like, Revoker's pretty good against something like a Hex Drinker. But I still have Spyglasses and a Needle for that. Chalice of the Void could be good at 1. I think this is fine. Yep. Looks good. Turn 1 Golos if we choose, or Tabernacle. We don't have the Wasteland here, but that's okay. Kept their 7. Okay, maybe a non-bizarre hand here. They've got Tabernacle Insurance here. Oh, so they're going to play a oof. That could be backbreaking, but it's not in this instance. Yeah. So this is not Tabernacle Insurance as they currently stand. Really, the question is, do they have Force of Vigor? It's pretty backbreaking if they do. I guess the question I have is, do I want to put them, tax their stuff here? But I think I'm just going to try and find a Crucible here and try and win that way. Like, getting a Golos into play is pretty strong. What they've got to be careful here is if they don't have another land and they decide to Wasteland and Vigor me, Tabernacle ends up getting their oof, which I mean, is whatever. It just unlocks their mocks. To me, I think this is hurting them more than me, but yeah, so they do have Vigor here. This is a Vigor in the upkeep. Yep. It's a really good draw, guys. I guess the question I have to ask myself here is, how badly do I want to kill this Nettle Cyst? Or this guy here? It's a tough decision. The oof is slowing me down. Next turn I lose the oof and I'm going to be able to cast Mana Vault. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's get rid of the pressure here. It's a pain, but no play. I think I just go cast a Golos here. Yeah, so that's the risk, right? It opened that back up for them, but now they're under attacks, unless they waste this here, which I would be happy with. I do think I have to cast Golos here. Question is, what do I want to get? I feel like it's probably a Caracas. Yeah, they just conceded. I don't know. I don't know what was correct there, but we'll take that. Okay, guys, here we are for the last round of the Vintage Preliminary. Won the die roll here. Don't see any results for Leechington. A Lurus player. Okay. I mean, this hand, I'm keeping it. Probably just play a Crucible to protect myself. And then next turn, I have the option of casting a Revoker and Nettle Cyst. Or if I draw land, I could cast God Pharaoh Statue. What's awkward is if my Soul Ring end up getting misstepped, but this gives me insulation from, just F6, from Wasteland. Well, I guess I'm not the only person that's built Cephalid's Breakfast. Well, we did draw enough mana for the statue here. I'm casting it. They didn't counter what I was doing, so let's see. Just resolves, okay. It's a pretty big game for me. I was worried they were just going to counter it and cast a Cephalid and win. Wasteland would be nice. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, Nettle Cyst. I don't need to worry about the Revoker right here. Because I have God Pharaoh Statue in play. Okay, nice clean win for us there. So Cephalid's Breakfast. We definitely want cages. We want this. We definitely want this. I don't know if they're on Stone Forges or not. Could see something like this come into play. I'm not sure about Null Rod. To be honest, I'm really not sure. Maybe I don't need all the cages. Forge is not great with cage. I still like Chalice. I mean, they're probably on swords, right? So maybe Wormcoil's not doing that much. As I explained earlier, I do like to keep the Tabernacle in if I get into long games. So for those of you unaware, Cephalad's Breakfast is where you cast a Cephalid Illusionist, and then you can just attach the Shuko to it, and the Illusionist triggers and mills, I believe it's 3 cards every turn. You mill your deck, you cast a Dread Return to bring back a Oracle and win the game that way. One more card. I actually do like the Tabernacle. It's just a nice card to have as an option, but maybe it's just the card that has to go here. Yeah, I can cut Karn. Yeah, let's try this out. Yep, I mean, it's pretty reasonable. Mm-hmm. Yep. Name Wasteland. Great. Well, we still need to resolve my Spyglass for this to be completely effectual, but no, 4 mana here. Maybe should have baited with something else here. Nope, they're going to try and get Saga Beats going. Okay. I hope that's the name of the card. So let's see if they can utilize their Saga here. They got Time Walk. Okay, that's good for me. Like, if I can resolve this God Pharaoh statue here, this is a pretty big game for us. Got lucky that, well, as we stand, they weren't able to use their Saga. Okay, Nettle Cyst is nice. Let's see if this resolves. All right, guys, here's the time of trial. They have used a force already. All right, that's pretty powerful having that in play. Now, they are going to be able to use their Saga here to go and get something. Could be a Black Lotus, but it won't be easy on them with a God Pharaoh statue. I've got Shuko turned off. Yeah, Black Lotus, that makes sense. Hercule's Recall, I guess, is a possibility. Or they could play something like an Energy Flux as well. Okay. Yeah, nice win for us there, guys. All right, well, in closure, the Old Golos shops felt really good today. I have not really enjoyed workshops a whole lot in the last couple of years, and I think it's the disenfranchised outlook came from the printing of Force of Vigor. But every once in a while I pick it up, and today was a day that workshops felt really good in my hands. I think my sequencing wasn't exactly perfect today, but the deck felt comfortable in my hands, and it does seem like a pretty good metagame call right now. So, admittedly, I mean, my opponent's playing Cephalid Breakfast here, so, or at least I think they're playing Cephalid Breakfast, so what that looks like, I'm not really sure as a competitive deck, but we're going to take it, guys. As always, I do appreciate you hanging out with us. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It is appreciated. And of course, leave any comments, and I'll try and get back.